What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Javante, aka Express Yourself. I'm coming right back at y'all with another video, man. Today's topic, I got Gen Z is too self-aware. Y'all, listen to me, y'all. Gen Z, from what I've noticed, is just way too socially aware than all the other generations, and I feel like this has the reason we're so self-aware is for a variety of reasons, but I'm gonna break down a couple of them that I've really gathered and observed, and some of the things that I can notice and attach to my life. So let's get into it. So first off, Gen Z, if you're a little bit older, and if you were broke and you didn't have no money to afford internet and all that, and phones and all that, you probably didn't have it for your entire life. You probably remember, like me, I can remember a time where I had no phone, no internet, and no social media. So I can remember that time, and I can vividly remember it. I can remember my thought process during those times. It wasn't that long ago. I was like 15, 16. So, but if you had money, your parents got you a phone and you're a bit younger, I would say like 20, 19, 18, if they're still Gen Z at that age, I'm not exactly sure, but they've basically had social media and phones for their entire life. Like, I'm talking from the ages of 8 on up, they've had social media and a phone, and I can remember, and those, just having a phone and social media, I'm gonna make a bigger, more in-depth video. Matter of fact, let me write that down right now so I don't forget. But yeah, phones are literally MK Ultra to me, bro. Phones are MK Ultra, and they're literally mind control. So phones are MK Ultra, and they're a form of mind control. So having a phone at that age, and then immediately having the powers that be able to manipulate you, be able to manipulate you through an algorithm, because look, even at this age, most people don't even really realize that they're living in a bubble. They're living in an algorithm bubble, and that unless you're really talking to a variety of people outside, like not on social media or nothing, you're not gonna really know what's going on in the world if you're only using social media and that's your only perspective, right? So as a little kid using that, I'm sure there's been they probably seen plenty of videos of guys being rejected by girls. Girls have probably since a really young age have seen girls do their makeup tutorials, do their get ready with me, and they're taking that in their I don't know if this is the right word, but they're inheriting those experiences. They're taking those experiences in as their own. So say a little 8-year-old sees a guy get rejected. He goes up to a bar. He says, "Hey, what's up? Can I get your number?" The girl says, "No, you're ugly. Get the hell out of my face." She says it real mean. Something that doesn't usually happen in real life. Now, it can happen, but it usually doesn't. So a little kid seeing that, he's going to be like, "Oh, so that's what happens if I ever try to approach a girl when I get older?" You feel me? And, I remember for my age group, I remember watching those, me and my friend groups, like my classmates, we used to watch the cringe compilations, people doing cringy stuff. And we try not to cringe things. I remember that being a big thing in middle school. And I guarantee you that has affected all of us that were watching that. Now we're afraid to put ourselves out there because we don't want to be cringy, And it's very bad, these phones and social media is very bad. Like I'm saying, it's MK Ultra, y'all. Y'all have to realize that they are using these phones to program us to think how they want us to think. And really, you know what? I'm gonna save those for my video on the phones. But yeah, we live like we're constantly on the camera. We live like we're constantly being surveillanced by something. We're afraid to go ask the boss, "How am I gonna get this or what can I do to get this promotion?" Because we're afraid that we're gonna get fired or some shit because we've seen some shit on social media. Like where men are like scared to approach women. Women, let me know down below, how many people, if you're a young Gen Z lady, and if you're watching, comment down below how often you get approached by guys your age. Because I've asked around, and most women say that guys their age do not approach. And even I don't really approach. I don't really like cold approaching. That's what I call approaching. Like just going up, not even knowing her, and just getting the number and getting up out of there. Most of us ain't doing that, y'all. Let's be honest, man. Most of us ain't doing that, bro. You wanna know why we're not doing that? Because we're worried about getting rejected before it happens. You know, we're inheriting pain before it even happens. Because we've grown up watching these, and it wasn't even our fault, you know? This shit was fed to us. They fed us these content. They fed us this dating relationship content. We didn't ask for that. We were little kids. We were watching SpongeBob and stuff. You know, and just when you get on social media, just pay attention to what you're seeing and how that like how that affects you. Are you taking it in and like really thinking that's how the world works? You know? Like Gen Z, if you're Gen Z watching this, my advice to you is try your best to like not be aware, or be too self-aware. I don't want to say don't be self-aware at all, because when you're not self-aware, you're making dumb decisions. You're being too much. You know, now you're not. Listen, we all need to be PR trained around here, especially if you're on semen retention. Be PR trained. Don't be out here acting goofy. But sometimes act goofy. It's a time and a place for it, you know? Sometimes you just gotta let yourself be, you know? Stop trying to uphold that image of whatever you got on social media. Stop. Delete social media, as a matter of fact. Me, my birthday's in a couple weeks. I plan on deleting social media like right after my birthday. I'm gonna make a post. I might keep it for a couple days, make a couple more posts. But then after that, I'm off it for like forever, bro. Like, not forever, but for the time being, I'm not using social media. I'm literally only gonna be focused on real life shit. You know, I don't even care. Even if when this YouTube channel blows up, I'll let somebody else post clips and stuff. I'm not gonna be on social media and stuff. If y'all in the future, if y'all ever see clips and pages of me, it's not me, bro. Because I'm not using social media no more. We need to break Gen Z. I don't know, millennials probably, and I'll say this though too. This is becoming more of a problem for everyone now too. Like millennials, what's the boomers, Gen X, all of them. It's become a problem for everyone. Everyone is becoming too self-aware now. But the thing about the older generations, they've already lived their life, you know. They're already kind of set in their ways, you know. So the social media is not going to change them too much. It might change them a little bit, but it's not going to change them like drastically, you know. You'll notice little things. One thing I noticed, you parents are actually, like some of you parents are actually taking care of y'all kids now because of social media. But yeah, the older generation I've noticed they don't really have this issue. I've noticed it with Gen Z though. Like, bro, have y'all seen that dude on TikTok that's like, this is a perfect example. He's going out, he's like a 21-year-old. I think he's saying like 5'7", white dude, he's buff. I think, if you don't know what I'm talking about, just search up 5'7" cold approach. It'll probably pop up, you know, he's kind of trending right now. But he's just going in and he's working on his social skills, you know, which I applaud. But he's going into it like thinking way too deep about it. Like, he's allowing things to get in his head. He's allowing he just got recognized too, which I think that would get in my head too. But even before he was getting recognized, he was letting like things get in his head. He's like he's thinking of the next thing to say. He's what else? He's getting discouraged by getting rejected, you know. And he's recording this too. You know, like that's another thing. Like, he's recording it. He's just too self-aware, I feel like. Too on social media. Like, he's not really living in the moment to really like get these girls. And he's he's thinking too desperately about it. You know, women can tell about that too, but he's just thinking too deep about it. He's way into it, you know. And if you just relax a little bit, let it be natural. I would even recommend don't record videos while you're doing it. Just record them after the next day. But go in, bitch. If you're in that same position as him and you're trying to work on cold approaching at bars and stuff, go in with no expectations, y'all. I feel like he's going in wanting a girlfriend and hoping to get laid or some shit that night. That's not gonna happen, bro. Especially if you ain't got no experience. That's not gonna happen, bro. You gotta have a little bit, at least a little experience to do that, you know. And so that's the main point is, man. Learn to strike a balance between being aware of what you're doing and just letting yourself be who you're meant to be, you know. Peace, love, and harmony to everyone that's checking in, man. I love and appreciate y'all for tuning in to another video. If you someone's calling me, bro. They just messed up my intro, but peace out, y'all.